Morning, folks. I've just finished watching the show from Australia. Very, very good show. Obviously, I'll talk about the main event last. The broadcast we got here in the UK, it started off with Andrew Moloney against Pedro Guevara for the interim WBC Super-Flyweight title. Good fight. Guevara, he took a split decision over Moloney. I actually had it to Guevara 116-112. The first 4 rounds I gave to Moloney. I thought Moloney, he was just working, landing more punch. He couldn't miss with that straight right hand. He was just smashing that over. He was landing it at will. So the first 4 rounds I gave to Moloney, no problem. But from 5 onwards, I gave everything. There were a couple of rounds that were close in the middle. So, you know, could have gone either way. But I just felt Guevara, he just found his range. He was working the body. He was driving that left hook to the body. And he was landing combinations to the body every time they got close. So for me, it was the body work. Pedro Guevara deserved the victory, in my opinion. A lot of people got upset. The commentary team seemed to be very upset and sympathising with Moloney. I totally get it. He's in his home country and he's lost a massive fight. You have to excuse my neighbour's dog. It keeps barking. It always does it when I sit out here. Anyway, it's gone a bit quiet now. I get it. It must be devastating losing at home in front of your own people in your home country. And yeah, it was a good fight. It wasn't like he was dominated or anything like that. I just felt that the better work was coming from Guevara from round 5 onwards. So I didn't have a problem with the outcome. I wouldn't mind seeing the fight again. It was a very good fight. Next we had Cherneka Johnson. Australia now has another world champion. She took the WBA Women's Bantamweight title from Hughes. 41 years old, that girl. She's the same age as me. And she fought at such a pace. Now I actually had this fight 96-94 to Hughes. But there were some rounds in there that were very difficult to score because although Hughes was putting in the volume of punches, a lot of them were getting blocked or weren't landing that hard. And Johnson at times was able to counter quite nicely. And she was landing the more eye-catching punches in some of the rounds. So I didn't have a problem with Johnson getting the victory. However, the fucking ring announcer, what a fucking clown that guy was. That guy has one job. I know people fuck up every day. We all fuck up in our jobs. This guy had one job to do. He has to read scorecards. And he fucked it up. He originally announced it as a majority decision victory to Hughes. So, of course, Nene Hughes was happy as Larry, jumping up and down. Successfully defended her title in Australia against an Australian, or an Australian New Zealander. And then seconds later, oh no, sorry ladies and gentlemen, I read that all wrong. Actually, Cherneka Johnson's the winner. And now, again, I don't have a problem with Johnson getting the victory, even though I had it 96-94 to Hughes. Again, there were some swing rounds in there. It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me at all. However, one of the scorecards was 98-92 to Johnson. I thought that was very, very wide. I think there's a rematch clause, so I wouldn't mind seeing that again. And obviously, Hughes was very, very pissed off, and she said she felt she was robbed. And I get where she's coming from, and especially that high of you've just been told you won, and then seconds later, it's snatched away from you. It's unacceptable. Things like that. Fuck me. That guy had one job to do. Absolutely appalling. Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Now the main event for the vacant IBF Lightweight title, Vasyl Lomachenko, who hadn't fought since some would say controversial loss, or many would say a controversial loss to Devin Haney last year. He was facing George Kambosos, the former unified lightweight champion, former Ring Magazine lightweight champion. And what a fucking display, man. What a display. Lomachenko dominated this fight, as most people thought he would. First round, I gave to George Kambosos. He was working the body nicely. At the end of the round, you could see Lomachenko's body was red. His torso was very red. And I thought, this would be interesting if Kambosos can keep this up. But from the second round onwards, he was just dominating. They called him the Matrix, and this is the reason why. Everything Kambosos tried, and again he had success here and there, but it was single punches mostly. But Lomachenko was out jabbing him. He was smashing the straight left hand over. He was working the body. He was throwing combinations. His footwork was impeccable. I mean, he cut him. He cut Kambosos over the right eye, around the right eye. He just everything Kambosos tried, he couldn't do anything with him. And then the end came in the 11th. A beautiful. Well, it should have been a couple of knockdowns actually before the stoppage, because there was a straight left landed, and then he kind of bundled him over, and the referee said it was a slip or whatever, no knockdown. Whatever, it doesn't matter in hindsight. And then of course he came. As soon as the referee waved them back together, Lomachenko just marched forward, drove a left hand into the solar plexus, down went Kambosos. The fucking life drained out of him. As I've said before, if you've ever been hit in the body, I've been hit in the body, and it sucks the fucking soul out of you. It doesn't matter how tough you are, how good you are. You take a full-blooded body shot in the right spot, and it will drain your soul. It takes your soul, absolutely. And give him credit, I didn't think he was going to get up. The way he sagged against the ropes on his knees, I thought, no, but he's a tough motherfucker. George Kambosos is a tough motherfucker, and he dragged his ass back up. And then Lomachenko just drove a few more hooks to the body. He sagged again. Referee waved it off as the corner were throwing the towel in. Wonderful performance. He's back. He's world champion again. I mean, you think he hasn't held a world championship since 2020, when he lost it to. When he lost that big fight to Teofimo Lopez. Sorry, his name escaped me for 2 seconds there. And wonderful performance, absolutely flawless. And Kambosos, I'm not the biggest fan of Kambosos. I think he's fun to watch. And he looked awful against Maxi Hughes last time out. And when this fight was announced, I wasn't overly enthused by it. I kind of thought, well, it should be Maxi Hughes in there. With Lomachenko for the vacant title, but then of course Hughes got wiped out recently himself, so it's kind of like, well, okay, we'll see what happens here. So after that, in the first round when those body shots were landing, I thought, oh, this could be quite interesting, because obviously Lomachenko's getting up there in age for a boxer. I mean, he's younger than me. The fact I'm saying somebody's getting old is ridiculous, and I've just said that Nina Hughes fought a wonderful fight, and she's the same age as me, so. Age is pretty relative depending on the circumstances. But no, what a wonderful performance from Lomachenko. Kambosos, he just had nothing. He had nothing. I mean, he was brave. I mean, he kept going, and like I say, those body shots just finished him. Oh, I do beg your pardon. But no, it'd be interesting to see where he goes next. Obviously, next week, apart from the big fight, which I will cover later on in the week, you've got Navarrete and Baranchik for the vacant WBO Lightweight title, and I would imagine the winner of that will probably be paired with Lomachenko in a unification, either later this year or early next year. So it'd be interesting to see where this goes. He seems pretty content to try and get the unify the belts again, which is cool. I ain't got a problem with that. Fantastic fight, performance, fantastic. I don't know where Kambosos goes from here, really, because is he world class? I mean, he had the fight of his life against Teofimo Lopez when he took the titles in a fight a lot of people didn't think he would win. But you think since then he was dominated back to back by Devin Haney. He struggled terribly with Maxi Hughes, and now he's just been completely outclassed and stopped by Vasyl Lomachenko. So we'll see. It'd be interesting to see where he goes from here. Right, that's enough out of me, folks. I hope you're all well. I hope you all had a good weekend. I hope you enjoyed the fights. And of course, next week we've got a big fight with Fury and Usyk, which I will do a video about. I'll probably do a sort of a prediction, sort of countdown video at some point in the week. Okay, so you take care, and I'll speak to you soon, folks.